So, cosplay is the act of dressing up as a character or a concept. Traditionally, cosplay is just the recreation of a character from a fictional setting. However, modern cosplay can involve a bit of a twist, such as a steampunk Superman, apocalyptic Shaggy, or a spider-legged mole. Wait, that last one's canon. Anyway, cosplay and by practice, cosplay photography was originally based around conventions. However, in the recent decade, it has exploded into a bunch of other areas, and this is in part due to the internet. Originally, cosplay photography was basically a specialized event photography. You would go to conventions, take photos, then sell those photos back for a small fee. And whilst this still very much can be the case, with the rise of the internet, it has also expanded into commission photography. People will specifically hire you to take their cosplay pictures for them to post on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Now, this is the area of photography I would personally like to go into. The reason being, it's awesome. But I also particularly like the elements of storytelling in photography. Storytelling with photography is my favorite type of photography, and it's fundamentally entwined with the concept of cosplay. I think Ivan Savage best describes this in his TED Talk.
We are, all of us on that floor, injecting ourselves into a narrative that meant something to us, and we're making it our own. We're connecting with something important inside of us.
I actually recommend you watch the whole thing, it's pretty good, but that's the exact thing I want to take pictures of. People connecting with a narrative. Now, I plan to use 2 streams to help create my career path. Firstly, I plan to eventually do commission and event-based photography, but initially I will go to conventions and cosplay-based events, take pictures of cosplayers, so that I will upload them to Instagram with me tagged as the photographer. Whilst doing this, I plan to do private shoots with friends who already do cosplays and upload those pictures up to Instagram with cosplay-based tags. This will expand my portfolio whilst also allowing me to broaden and connect with an audience. With this, I will be able to launch myself as a commission and event photographer, displaying my wares online. Using the online space is an essential means for how I plan to find work. The second source for income regarding photography I plan to take is by selling prints of my pictures through online shops like Redbubble, SmugMug, and Etsy. With these photos, I plan to shoot with friends whilst also vlogging the process, allowing me to upload that vlog to YouTube, driving more traffic to my prints. I also plan to do some of these prints nearby to locations that host events, hopefully allowing me to establish connections with venue holders who can recommend me for future events. So when you're doing cosplay photography for somebody, it's pretty ideal to find out why they connect to that character and then try to recreate that with your photo. So this means fog machines, lighting, and gels. But it's also common practice to use Photoshop to touch up photos for effects that can't be recreated in real life, or to assist in creating a more cinematic feel. So with cosplay photography, you do have the basic legal issues regarding copyright or character. Strictly speaking, it's not legal to take pictures of Spider-Man and then sell that picture of Spider-Man. I can be hired to take pictures of somebody dressed up as Spider-Man, and then that person can post those pictures online. However, if I take a picture of Spider-Man and then sell it for myself online, I could potentially get sued for copyright infringement. In order for me to sell a picture of a character, it has to fall under fair use, meaning it either has to be critical of said character or be transformative enough to not fall under the original copyright. However, in saying that, it is unlikely that I would get sued for infringing on copyright. A big part of copyright law is that damages have to be proven. That my picture in some way, shape, or form prevented somebody else from buying a Spider-Man print or Spider-Man material from an official Marvel outlet. For this reason, usually bigger companies don't go after smaller creators. However, it is still at their discretion, so don't. Now regarding ethical behavior, there are still 2 major issues you have to deal with. The first one is permission. I mean, yes, people do go to conventions in cosplay with the intention of getting photographed. However, you should still ask for permission before taking the picture. This is also a scenario where the ethical thing to do is also the beneficial thing to do, because if you're asking somebody for a picture, they're more likely to pose and help you set up a better picture. Second bigger issue is sexualization in cosplay. There's been a little debate on whether or not cosplay has become too sexualized in recent years. I personally believe it's up to the choice of the cosplayer, As long as they're not inappropriately exposing themselves, the choice should lay with them. Cosplay photography is relatively safe for the photographer. However, you need to ensure that if the subject is doing any stunts, that they alert you of them. And if they're carrying any weapons, you need to make sure that you're aware of them and that they don't swing them around during the shoot. Basically, you need to prepare to ensure that any stunts done are done safely, and not just for the photographer, but the subject as well. Further, permission before taking a picture and before posting that picture is really important to prevent harassment on the models. Further, we are still in a pandemic, so social distancing is still important. Now, during my career, I will constantly have to improve and learn new skills so that I can consistently and constantly gain new clients. I plan to do this by actively participating in cosplay communities at conventions and online. That way, if there's a significant change to the field, I'm likely to know about it. The other important tool I plan to use to help improve my photography are Instagram and YouTube. I plan to consistently be looking at other people's work, learning from what they're doing, what particular techniques they're using, and how I can use them in my own photography.